In this video, I will be giving a real estate breakdown for the neighborhoods near downtown Monterey. After pulling up a map view of Monterey, I'm going to be going over downtown Monterey and the surrounding towns. In particular, I'll be going over the age of when these homes were built, depending on where they are, and typical real estate prices for each of these areas. I will also share some of my favorite parts of each of these neighborhoods if you're having a hard time deciding where you want to move to based on your price point. Whenever I have aerial footage of the neighborhoods that I'm talking about, I'll mix that in as well. What's up everybody, Toby Fernie here with Coldwell Banker Realty in Monterey. If you're new to the channel, it is all about real estate and living here in the Monterey area. Likes and subscriptions are always greatly appreciated. If you are a seller wondering the value of your home in today's market, or if you're a buyer looking for your dream home in the area, be sure to give me a call, send me a text or an email. I'd be happy to help. All right, for this video, I'm going to be going off the cuff and live, no script. So if I make any mistakes, it is what it is. All right, so pulling up a map of downtown Monterey here, you can see it's a little bit zoomed out. I'm going to be going over downtown Monterey, Pacific Grove, Pebble Beach, Carmel-By-The-Sea, and then coming up here at the end and going over Seaside and Marina. There are, of course, other parts of neighborhoods that are part of Monterey County, like Salinas, which is one of the largest neighborhoods. But for this video, I'm going to be doing the neighborhoods in the areas that are surrounding downtown Monterey. Okay, so zooming in a little bit here is where you're going to be able to find downtown Monterey. This is where you're going to have some places like Cannery Row, and you're going to have Alvarado Street that are part of downtown Monterey. These are the areas where the original homes were built in the Monterey area. If you think of Cannery Row from John Steinbeck's novel, these are the areas that he's talking about when he's saying the whistles blow from the canning factories and the workers come down in order to rush to get to work. So the homes that are going to be the oldest are going to be these ones that are over here down by Cannery Row in this area here. So you're going to have some homes that were built here in the early 1900s through the mid 1900s. Homes in these neighborhoods are going to probably be, depending on the condition, the size of the home, the neighborhood, are definitely going to be over $1 million. They're probably going to be in between the $1 million to $3 million mark. Some of the benefits of living in this area is that you have access to things like restaurants, bars. You are close to the Monterey Recreational Trail. So you're going to have a lot of options of things that you can do. You're going to have a lot of options of things that you can do in the area. You're going to be able to walk to a lot of different places. So if you're looking for an area that's walkable, this is going to be a great option here for you here. If you have family and you have young kids, you can take them to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is down there in that area. Okay, so moving to some of the other areas that are near downtown. So we have this area over here, which are some of the numbered streets here over by Del Monte Beach and Dennis the Menace Park. These homes are going to be a little bit more affordable than you would have in that area that I was just talking about over there. You're going to have some homes that will be in the $1 million to $2 million range in here. Again, all of these prices that I'm going over are going to be dependent on the size of the home, the condition, the neighborhood, all of those things in there. And if you're moving over here closer to Monterey Peninsula College, and if you're over by the Monterey Airport, the regional airport, and if you're in that neighborhood over there, you're going to have some of the most affordable homes in downtown Monterey in this area. Here you're going to be able to find some homes in the $800,000 to the 1.4 range. You are near the airport, but Monterey Airport is not one of these places like LAX or SFO where there are tons of flights coming in and out every day. So it's not going to be as much of a noise hassle for you if you're living over in that area. You're going to be near the Monterey Fairgrounds, which is where they have some great concerts there. The Monterey Jazz Festival is there every year. Cali Roots Reggae Festival is there. A very walkable neighborhood too. You can walk from there to Del Monte Beach. Del Monte Beach in this neighborhood, kind of over here, one of my favorite neighborhoods in the Monterey area. You are right on the Monterey Bay Recreational Trail, so if you're into walking or biking, That's a fantastic route there that takes you all the way from Marina down to Pebble Beach. You can go along there. Some of the homes in this Del Monte Beach neighborhood are going to be probably in the $2 to $4 million range. Del Monte Beach is not going to be a very crowded beach. It's not as popular as places like Carmel-By-The-Sea and Carmel Beach. And you also have the Surfside condominiums there, which those are going to be luxury condominiums, kind of in the 800 to upwards to 800,000 to the $2 or $3 million mark, depending on the unit that you have there. Okay, so moving over from that area, if you come over past the area that I was talking about with the Monterey airport, if you are along here, along 68, which is the highway that goes in between Monterey and Salinas, that will take you out that direction there. So if you're over along 68, some of these homes, if you're looking at Pasadena and Monterey, these are some of these neighborhoods that are a little bit further along 68, closer to Salinas or Carmel Valley. These are going to be some of the most expensive homes in the Monterey, downtown Monterey area. I'm talking about the 93940 zip code. When I mention that, because Monterey is a city and also a county. So that's what I mean by downtown Monterey. It's not going to be downtown like you're thinking of for San Francisco or Los Angeles. So those neighborhoods, those are gated communities off some of the different golf courses there. Those homes are going to be in the $2 million to $6 million range there. So if you're looking for some newer homes with a lot of space, a lot of the homes in downtown Monterey are going to have smaller homes, smaller lots. So this is going to be an area where you're going to have some of the most expensive homes near downtown Monterey. All right, scrolling over here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so you can see where I'm going. I'm going to go over to Pacific Grove here. So Pacific Grove is where I first lived when I moved to the Monterey area. Lived there for about 3 years before I moved over to Monterey. Recently, just 1 year anniversary, I purchased a home in Seaside up here. So that's kind of, these are some areas that I'm very familiar with, Pacific Grove, Monterey, and Seaside. So if you're getting into the Pacific Grove area, right after you're on the, Cannery Row, Monterey Bay Aquarium line there, eventually this will turn into Pacific Grove. Pacific Grove is a very quaint, small town, very walkable, like the downtown Monterey area that I mentioned to you as well. You're going to have Lovers Point Park there. That's a very popular area that's near downtown Pacific Grove. Downtown Pacific Grove would be this lighthouse area here, this Lighthouse Avenue area. You're going to have some good restaurants there. Passion Fish is a very good restaurant there. You're going to have Red House Cafe on Lighthouse, which is a good place for breakfast, and also Bookworks is a great coffee shop near downtown Pacific Grove. It's a very walkable area there, downtown Pacific Grove. There's some interesting shops, neighborhood markets, and so there are a lot of people that live in Pacific Grove that probably wouldn't need to access a car for making it from their homes down to the beach, Lovers Point Park, or Asilomar State Beach. These are some of the popular areas that are in Pacific Grove. The most expensive homes, as you may have guessed, are going to be these oceanfront properties along Pacific Grove here. You're probably not going to be able to find anything for less than $3 million in this price range. If you're getting up to some of these numbered streets that are in Pacific Grove and some of the other parts of Pacific Grove on the other side of Lighthouse Avenue, homes will be a little bit more affordable. They're still going to be more expensive than you would get in downtown Monterey. So Pacific Grove, not many homes out these days that are less than $1 million. Most of your homes in Pacific Grove are probably going to be 1.5 upwards. And it's a smaller community. If you look on the map here, Pacific Grove takes up a smaller area than downtown Monterey, which is kind of this bigger part on the map here. This part of Monterey actually is called New Monterey, where you're up here kind of by the Presidio of Monterey. those homes are going to be newer than if you were in downtown or historic Monterey, which are these areas over here. Okay, so making our way along 17-mile drive from Pacific Grove, you're going to be going along here, and this will get you over to Pebble Beach and over to Carmel-By-The-Sea. If you're unfamiliar with Pebble Beach, this is one of the most famous golf courses in the world, I would say. There is the AT&T Pro Golf Tournament that happens in Pebble Beach every year. So people that are into golf, there's a lot of different golf courses there. I think 7 or 8 different golf courses that you can choose from. Not too many things when it comes to restaurants or shopping, and there aren't many sidewalks in Pebble Beach. So this is an area, where you're probably going to need to get into your car to see some, different restaurants, bars. If you're going to supermarkets, so there's not, I don't think, any markets within Pebble Beach. There are some restaurants there at some of the different clubs, like the Bench is a very good restaurant there, and the Hay is one of my favorite restaurants in my top 5 restaurants for Pebble Beach and Carmel-By-The-Sea. This is a very expensive area, one of the most exclusive areas when it comes to real estate, and the prices are going to be the most expensive in Monterey County here in Pebble Beach. It's going to be difficult to find a home for less than $1.5 or $2 million, and home prices will go all the way up to north of $40 million in Pebble Beach. So there is a small HOA, and it's a gated community with a security gate, but the HOA is very small. If you're a tourist that's coming to town, there is a cost to enter. I think it's $10.25 to enter through the gate, unless you're coming through with your realtor. Then they can take care of that. Okay, so making our way from Pebble Beach along towards Big Sur. If you zoom out further here, you're going to go down to Big Sur, and this is a route that you could take all the way down to Los Angeles, although that would be quite the drive. So getting from Pebble Beach, if you keep going along that way, the next area we have Carmel and Carmel-By-The-Sea over here. Carmel is part of, we got Carmel-By-The-Sea, Carmel, and Carmel Valley. So Carmel Valley is out into this direction here. Carmel-By-The-Sea is a very popular destination. A lot of tourists come to town. It's a very quaint town. Looks a little bit like a European village when you go to Carmel-By-The-Sea. Ocean Avenue is probably the most popular part of Carmel-By-The-Sea, and then also Carmel Beach is another very popular area. The homes are closer together here in Carmel-By-The-Sea than you would get in Pebble Beach. There are many homes in Pebble Beach that are a little bit more private, a little more secluded. The homes in Carmel-By-The-Sea, it's a beautiful, beautiful area down here, but it is close together. There's going to be a lot of tourists walking around, a lot of cars parking on the street. Again, not many sidewalks in Carmel-By-The-Sea, just like Pebble Beach, although there are sidewalks up in the Ocean Avenue area and up by some of these shops and restaurants. This area by Ocean Avenue, you have some great restaurants, shops, a few bars, a lot of designer shopping there, a lot of art, as that is a historical component to Carmel-By-The-Sea. It was originally an artist community. I should say when it was incorporated in the early 1900s, it was an artist community. And there are a lot of different wineries in downtown Carmel. If you're coming to town for a visit, I would definitely recommend coming to see that area. Just like Pebble Beach, it's going to be pretty difficult to find a home in Carmel-By-The-Sea for less than $2 million. And there are homes that will go all the way up to that $20 to $40 million price range in Carmel-By-The-Sea too. There are different parts. Carmel, you got the coming down here to the Golden Rectangle. This is another very popular area for real estate. We have Hatton Fields over here, Carmel Point, making our way to Carmel Highlands. So this is an area, if you're interested in checking this area out, great schools in Carmel, some of the highest rated schools in Carmel, and Pebble Beach and Carmel are some of the most picturesque locations in all of Monterey County in California. So if you're able to afford purchasing a home in these areas, clients who I've had who have purchased here just absolutely love living in the area. Making our way down along Carmel to Carmel Valley. Carmel Valley, just like Big Sur, bit more of a rural area, if you will. That's going to be more spread out. The homes aren't as close together, and this is more so hills, and there's going to be a lot of trees in these areas. Carmel Valley is, there's a lot of people who grew up in Carmel Valley who live there. There's a downtown Carmel Valley area, and there's going to be some, restaurants, wineries, markets that are in that area. But Carmel Valley and Big Sur, they are two of the areas with one of the smallest populations in Monterey County when it comes to town. So if you're looking for something that's a little more secluded, a little more rural, you don't mind driving a little bit, you're about a 25-minute drive to downtown Monterey. If you're wanting to go, there is a supermarket in between Carmel-By-The-Sea and Carmel Valley. There's a Safeway there, but if you're trying to come in and do some other things, see different restaurants, bars, things like that, you're about a 25-minute drive from Carmel Valley to Monterey or Pebble Beach, Carmel-By-The-Sea. Homes in Carmel Valley area, there's not going to be much in Carmel Valley for less than $1 million. There's a lot of homes in Carmel Valley which are going to have good acreage. There's plenty of places where they grow wine in Carmel Valley, so some vineyards there. Some of the larger properties there with acreage are going to be upwards to $10 million in Carmel Valley, but you will be able to find some homes in Carmel Valley that are in between the $1 to $2 million range. All right, so zooming back out on the map here, I'm going to go from Carmel Valley over here. Rey Oaks is an area that is part of the 93940 zip code, just like downtown Monterey, but it is its own municipality. This is a very small area, Rey Oaks. There's only a few neighborhoods that make up Rey Oaks. It's kind of in between Seaside and Monterey here. I have some clients who have purchased in Rey Oaks. They absolutely love it. One of my favorite neighborhoods near downtown Monterey. Homes are going to be probably in between $900,000 to $1.5 million in that neighborhood. Again, depending on the size and the quality of the home. All right, so moving up from Monterey, we have Sand City. Sand City, just like Rey Oaks, is another very small area. There are not many homes for sale in Sand City. There is a large apartment complex in Sand City, and then a lot of industrial space over there. You're going to have things like Costco, and there's a Target over there, and then there's also some different commercial spaces in Sand City. They do have some different events that happen in there. First Fridays, they will have bands that come there that play, and there's kind of an industrial area where you can get different food trucks when they're doing that. There's also a First Fridays in Pacific Grove as well. If you're looking for music and food, the restaurants and the shops will stay open later there on First Fridays. But Sand City, there is the West End Festival there, which is one of my favorite festivals that happens along with Cali Roots here in the Monterey area. Not too many people live in Sand City here. There are a number of homes there. There's a few neighborhoods just like Rey Oaks, but in Sand City, you're probably looking at homes in between the $1 to $2 million price range there. All right, moving into Seaside. So you have Monterey, Rey Oaks, Sand City, and then Seaside, which this is where I live. I live in Seaside. And Seaside, also like Rey Oaks, one of my favorite neighborhoods. It's very walkable. You have General Jim Ward Boulevard here, which there's a walking kind of hiking trail along here. You can easily, if you have a bike, access the Monterey Recreational Trail, which again runs from Marina all the way down to Pebble Beach. Some very good restaurants in Seaside, some very good Mexican restaurants, Asian food in Seaside. Other Brother, if you are into craft beer, is down on Obama Way, aka Broadway Avenue. in Seaside, and that is an area where there's some different restaurants, different things to do. Ferdy's is a Creole restaurant there. They have very good food on Broadway Avenue. I did a video for the Butter House, which is a breakfast restaurant. You can see that one right there. Very good breakfast restaurant in Seaside. And Seaside is going to be one of the most affordable areas near downtown Monterey. You're going to be able to find homes in this part of Monterey County for between $700,000 to $1.3 million, depending on which neighborhood that you're in. One of the downsides of Seaside is that I would say that there are smaller homes and lots in Seaside, which is part of why there's affordable homes. Some of these different homes are going to be on one-way streets. So the one-way streets, there's a lot of cars that are parked on some of these smaller one-way streets, so that can make that a little bit difficult. A lot of local schools. I used to teach at a school in Seaside here called the International School of Monterey. So a lot of local schools that you can walk to in the neighborhood there for Seaside. They're in the process of building some new houses in Seaside over by the Bayonet and Black Horse Golf Course. So if you were looking for new homes, the best areas that you're going to want to purchase homes in, where you're going to find newer homes, are going to be in that community over there by the Bayonet Golf Course, Bayonet and Black Horse, Golf Course in Seaside. And then also we'll get into some of the new housing in Marina and East Garrison. So those are the areas where you're going to have newer homes if you're looking to purchase new homes. One part of Seaside is called Seaside Highlands. That's going to be up here, and those homes were built in the early 2000s, and those are the most expensive homes that are going to be in Seaside, and those homes are going to be in between 1.2 to 1.5 there in Seaside. Although the new homes that are being built over by Bayonet and Black Horse Golf Course are more expensive. Those are going to be closer to the $2 million range. Okay, so moving up into the Marina area. Marina, probably a 15-20 minute drive to downtown Monterey. And if you keep going north here, you'll see that you can make your way up to Santa Cruz. Monterey is about a 45-minute drive to Santa Cruz. Marina is closer to a 30-minute drive to Santa Cruz. And then going further north is when you're going to be able to go up to San Jose, San Francisco up there. So going back down here to Marina, this is where you're going to be able to find some new housing developments. So there are 3 new housing developments in the Marina area. One is called Sea Haven. Those homes are going to be in the 1.2 to 1.5 price range. You can build new homes there, or you can buy pre-existing ones. People are starting to resell homes there. Those are some of the newest homes that are in Monterey County. As well, you have the Dunes, which is another option there. Those homes are going to be probably in between $900,000 to $1.3 million. And with the area over there, with the Dunes, you're going to be able to access more commercial shopping like you can in certain parts of Seaside. You're going to be able to access things like Walmart. There's a Best Buy, Target, Kohl's over there, and then they're going to continue building in some of those areas, and they're planning to build supermarket out there. I believe that they're also planning to put in a craft brewery place in that area. So the area surrounding the Dunes, they're really hoping to make that kind of downtown marina. There isn't really much of a downtown marina right now, whereas if someone were to say, I'll meet you in downtown Seaside, I would think of Broadway Avenue, or downtown Monterey, I would think of Alvarado Street or Cannery Row, downtown Pacific Grove or Carmel-By-The-Sea. Those would be places that you could identify, but there isn't really a downtown marina yet. So they're trying to build that area up there. There's a small airport, but this is actually a place where you can go skydiving. I went skydiving there a couple of years ago. But not many flights are coming in and out of that municipal airport. Another option that you can have for newer homes is going to be in between Marina and Salinas, and that's called East Garrison. East Garrison is going to be over here in this area, over by Fort Ord National Monument. Those homes were built, the 2015 to 2010 to 2020 range. A lot of those homes were completed kind of around the 2015 area, and those homes are going to be newer homes, just like you'd be able to get at the Dunes or at Sea Haven. Those homes in East Garrison are going to be in the $850,000 to maybe $1.2, $1.3 million price range there. So there's kind of an overview, a breakdown of Monterey County. So if you're looking for the most affordable areas, you're looking Seaside, Marina. You can also, Salinas is affordable area near downtown Monterey, probably about a half an hour drive to downtown Monterey. And then after that, you're looking at Rey Oaks, Sand City would be some of the most affordable areas after that. Then you have Monterey, Pacific Grove's a little more expensive. Carmel-By-The-Sea, Carmel Valley is going to be right around the same cost to purchase as you would in Pacific Grove. Carmel-By-The-Sea is going to be the most expensive, just after Pebble Beach would be the most expensive, and then there's also some quite expensive homes along the Big Sur coast. So that was kind of a breakdown of downtown Monterey. You can see the different prices there, some of the benefits of living in each of these different towns depending on what you're looking for. If you have any questions about living in Monterey, if you're a buyer looking for your dream home or a seller wondering the value of your home in today's market, feel free to give me a call, send me a text or an email at toby.fernie@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you in your search. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for future content all about real estate and living here in Monterey, California.
Click the icon to subscribe to more content from living in Monterey, California.